We did talk with Larry James. He said that one of the projects that he worked on with the time control program was to re-engineer the outcome of the Civil War.
Right. The South won the war, flat out.
That's what Larry said.
They pulverized the North Army.
You know, when I tell people that, they think I'm crazy.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even a match.
Well, was it pretty quick?
Probably within a year.
The South actually won the war.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
And so somewhere, somehow, there was a decision made to change that.
Had to.
Okay. And
because our entire structure was completely different than what we see and know today.
Right. See, that's what's going to be hard, because now the reality that you recalled, let's just say in the 60s and all that stuff, was that a reality of the North winning?
Well, that's what I was going to tell you when you first called today and when we was talking about this yesterday.
Right.
The way I figured it out, I was born in 1942, so I grew up in the 40s, 50s. And the only thing I can recall and think of how it worked is during my growing up time, we was probably taught and explained and knew about the Civil War and the South winning and everything. That's the way everything was.
Mm-hmm.
People just went on, just like today.
Yeah. It's not a big deal today, really.
Yeah. And whatever the life structure was, who knows? Now, along comes this program. They round us up. Now, first of all, I don't believe I was ever at Montauk. I don't believe I went through there at all. I went through somewhere else.
Well, okay, Larry did say there were many other places.
In fact, I think I went through down in, probably for that mission, I think I went through somewhere down into Virginia's. They have another time station down in there. So anyway, I was chosen. I was put with a lady to go back as a husband and wife, and I was to be a Southern officer. And I was given of course, we had all information about the battles. And I was to plant false information on these battles to throw them off so they would be defeated instead of winning, which wasn't hard to do. How should I say it? Military officers are arrogant people, and they'll believe about anything. They'll accept certain things coming from certain people in certain ways. We were to go to this big ball that all the officers were going to be at.
Right.
And we went in our finery, my military uniform for the South and the whole works. And I hobnobbed with all these other officers. And, like all military people, we talked about the upcoming battles and everything else. And I just inserted certain misinformation.
While you're at the ball or the party?
And because I knew which officers to pick on. I was given all this data.
Right. Now, do you recall any of the names of the officers, or do you recall any of the data that you gave them that was wrong?
No. Not really. Those things are still missing. So I planted all this information. Gave them all this misinformation, I should say. And later, during strategy sessions, I even pointed it out on maps to them. And which they had given us, how should I say?
Did they give you the maps?
No, I was in the meetings with them. They had them all laid out there with all the generals and the subordinate officers and everybody, because it was going to be one major push.
Okay.
And I just gave them information that I said I was able to gather because of my position within the military ranks, and switched some facts on them, which they didn't know. And so they made some changes, moved their personnel at different positions, and that was the downfall from there on through.
Weren't there more people involved than just the two?
Her and I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On this project?
It took quite a few to get all this organized and to get them to really make all these major changes that needed to be changed to so that they'd end up losing. It was a major deal.